Hi, so my name's Jordan, and this is my wife, Kelsey, and this is our little guy, Sam. And this is just a bit of a story of his entrance into the world and God's faithfulness in that. So back in 2020, we were pregnant with our third. We already had two boys at the time who were 2 and 4. And about halfway through the pregnancy, we found out that he was pretty small and he wasn't growing very fast. And so that started to raise some alarms. And also at the time we had some blood work come back, and that had gotten flagged for a genetic abnormality. So from there, we got referred to the Vancouver Children's Hospital for more testing and to find out what was going on. So when we got down to Vancouver, nothing conclusive was found. So at that point, some pretty dark moments and days, but we were trying to figure that out and grapple with that of not knowing, or having answers, and having a child who, the thought of having him and his life could be filled with ongoing health conditions, or, the darkest thought was, maybe not being able for him to make it, and that we might lose him. So during that time, we continued to trust God, though, knowing that He would provide the outcome in His will. It may not be what we wanted, but we knew that He was sovereign, even in this super hard time. So He wasn't surprised by our circumstances, and He already knew what was going to come. So we remember meeting with our Hope Church here in Oyama at the time during COVID, and we remember that a lot of our friends gathered with us and prayed with us pretty often, just to lift up this unborn child to God and to His plan, and to trust Him just kind of 1 week at a time throughout the pregnancy. So one verse that was really special to us was Jeremiah 17:7. But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord and whose confidence is in Him.
Actually, he did want to sit with you.
Hey, come here. Come sit. Mom's gonna read now.
Okay. It's going? Okay. We fought for peace daily, giving our fears and anxieties back to God and declaring who He is over and over. We need to remind ourselves of truth often because we are surrounded by so much that was unknown and constantly changing. The story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was my favorite growing up as a child. And now in these darkest and scariest months of our lives, that story kept coming back countless times. And I was reminded that, Lord, even if you do not, we will praise you. We can trust Him and we can put our hope in Him. At 26 weeks, we had a concerning ultrasound and we were sent out to Vancouver, and I stayed there for the rest of pregnancy. For 6 weeks, Jordan was driving back and forth between myself in Vancouver and our boys who were in Vernon. I was in and out of the hospital every day to be able to catch any poor readings that they might have in an attempt to prevent a stillbirth. Anxiety crept in and felt paralyzing at times. But prayer and the Word of God was my greatest source of comfort in those weeks of uncertainty. At 32 weeks, our third boy was born, weighing 2 pounds, 5 ounces. He was in the NICU for 3 months until he was strong enough to be discharged and to be able to come home. The peace of God and the power of prayer is undeniable when we recount those times and hardships that those months brought. Samuel has now outgrown all health concerns and is a happy, busy, loud 2.5-year-old boy. Almost 3 years later, we now meet in the exact hall where we had prayed for him, and now we watch him run around and play. We didn't anticipate this wonderful outcome for our family, but we happily receive it with thanksgiving to our God who is forever faithful. Romans 12:12 says, "Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer."